Hello, this is Coach Wilson, and this is Chapter 4, Section 2. Today we're going to pick up where we left off. We went through the First, Second, Third, Fourth, and Fifth Amendment, and we're going to pick up with the Sixth Amendment today. Now, all of the Fifth and Sixth and Seventh Amendments are dealing with courts and dealing with trials and trying to be fair. And looking at a little back history, colonists were dealing with a lot of unfair trials and misrepresentation during the time period there right before the Revolutionary War, which is another reason the war was fought. And so that's why a lot of these amendments are in there. First of all, the Sixth Amendment gives you the right to a speedy public trial. Essentially, what that means is that you may be waiting for the trial for a while, but once the trial starts, it will be speedy. You also have the right to an attorney, whether you can afford one or not. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. You're also entitled to a jury trial, to where they will give you a jury by your peers in order to determine whether or not you are innocent or guilty. And there's certain things that we'll talk about, and there's other cases where the judge decides, for example, in the case of like traffic tickets and things like that, and those are more civil cases. You're also required, they also required to inform you of the charges that are being brought against you to ensure that you understand them, and they are required to question all witnesses that could prove or disprove your guilt. Okay, so, or prove your innocence. All right, so the Seventh Amendment is more dealing with civil cases, okay, that you are to be given a jury trial in all civil cases. In some cases, that is just a judge, and they do not have a group of individuals that comes in, but you're given a trial that has a jury, and you're not just ruled guilty based on the police findings, etc. You're also, the general Seventh Amendment protects against trials dealing with property or money in cases dealing with family issues, okay, so that you are required to at least have some form of a jury or protection in these civil cases. All right, the Eighth Amendment means no excessive bails and fines. Okay, bail can be used to ensure that the accused appears in court, which is generally its importance. All right, and then no cruel and unusual punishments. Okay, so basically the crime or the punishment fits the crime. All right, that they're not giving you a punishment that is not fair. Pretty explanatory there. All right, the Ninth Amendment, all rights not listed are still protected. Okay, essentially the Ninth Amendment is that there are things that are listed in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. If it is not listed in one of those areas, then it's protected. Okay, so there's hundreds of rights that we could talk about that are protected by the Constitution. Specifically, your rights are protected even if they are not explicitly listed. Okay, people have rights that aren't listed in the Constitution, meaning that the Constitution and the Bill of Rights is open for interpretation. Okay, if it does not exist there, then that means that you have the right to do it potentially. All right, now there are other laws and things in place that limit you, but in general, rights like going and get a job, rights like going and getting lunch, things like little things that just don't need to be listed there. The 10th Amendment we call the State Power Amendment. Okay, all powers not given to the national government are reserved for the states. Right, so they're reserved powers. We already talked about that a little bit. Essentially, if the national government does not have the power, then it is reserved for the states. The reason that is to balance the power. We talked about that when we talked about federalism. And this gives the states the power to act independently to protect the citizens and their rights. All right, that's just kind of a brief overview. If you have any questions about any of the amendments, please let me know. We will be continuing on with the rest of the amendments going into section 2. Hope you're having a great day. If you need anything, please let me know. If not, I'll talk to you soon.